talk about fear busting today. Specifically today, I want to talk about the fear of starting a company and failing, or trying and failing. And I have many friends who actually want to start a company, but have never really gotten over that fear of failing, so they don't even start. Because if they never start, they can say, well, I never failed because I never tried. You know, but actually starting and doing it really puts you vulnerable into that position of failing. My absolute biggest fear is losing. And I use that fear to really drive my entrepreneurial or professional business ventures. I look at the people that I greatly admire, like Tim Ferriss, Gary Vaynerchuk, Casey Neistat, even Sophia Omarosa. I don't even know how to pronounce it, actually. And I look at them as competition, really, as somebody who I admire, of course, and can learn a lot from, but someone that I'm in competition with, even though they may not even know it, and someone who I must strive to beat. And in this case, to beat in business, to beat professionally. And it's not anything malicious, but it's something that really drives me to continue pushing and driving forward. Which brings us to one of my main topics for today, which is my beautiful wife, Kim. And yesterday she said something that really reminded me of something that many people, I'm packing this right now, so don't worry. Many people actually say quite often while they're doing their entrepreneurial venture. And what she said is, what if no one actually buys the cookies or the alfajores that we're building? And I thought, oh, hello. And I thought that's just a great example of how fear can really play into building a company. You know, it's like, what if no one buys it? What if no one uses the service? What if I'm embarrassed because it's an ultimate failure? Just so you know, these are the wonderful alfajores that Kim made. Oh, thanks for packing that. Here you go. These are the prototypes. We have about 14 here. And it's always that fear, right? What if no one buys it? What if everyone hates it? What if everyone thinks it's dumb? And that's something that every entrepreneur really has to compete with, mentally. So how do you beat this fear? Well, one of the things I always remember is my dad always taught me, dime con quién andas y te diré quién eres, which means tell me who you hang out with and I'll tell you who you are. And I've always tried to surround myself with people who are equally motivated, equally driven. So for example, right now, Alex Tornegra and the leadership here at Bunny Inc., like Lucho and Santiago and Abe and Omar, Tanya, all of the leadership are extremely motivated and keep me driven. And mentally, I compete against them. Like, I need to do better in my position to beat them. Other people like Yu-Kai Chow and Steven Johnson, these are people, even Joseph Yee, these are people who I've co-founded businesses with and keep me motivated, keep me driven, and keep me on my toes. You know, if I blink and all of a sudden Yu-Kai's written a book, you know, it's like, oh my God, Yu-Kai's writing a book, I need to do something a little bit more. You know, I need to start a vlog or something like that. So with Kim, and to get her started with Peruvian Cookie, even though after 7 years of really pushing her and not really being able to get her to start her own company, we started with baby steps. We started by getting the domain name. You know, that was something that really motivated her. It's like, okay, we have the domain name. We started by getting some designs. We started by getting the baker. And all these things, all these baby steps started racking up, one step after another, because if you sit back and you try to look at starting a company in its entirety, it's kind of a daunting task. But if you take it with baby steps, oh, this is awesome. That's awesome. But if you start with baby steps, then you're gonna be motivated, be driven, and because it's only one step at a time, it's gonna be a lot easier than doing it in its entirety. So start off with baby steps. Another great way to squash the fear is accountability. So we set this going away bonanza as a time when Kim can sell her alfajores, the Peruvian cookies, for the first time. So knowing that we have this date that we have to meet pushes us to make sure that we complete it. So holding yourself accountable, setting yourself a date, and also making it public that this is where people are gonna be able to buy your product, your service for the first time is a great way to push yourself and really squash that fear. A question I'm sure, or a fear many of you always have is, what if I fail? But you should never really think that way, because then you're not gonna put all your heart and soul into it. You know, what if I fail? What if this happens? What if that happens? No, just put everything, all of your heart, all of your soul into the project, and then you're gonna be able to hopefully do it. And if you fail, so what? Who cares? It doesn't matter. Everyone's failed. I failed countless times. Alex Tornegra has failed countless times. and many other entrepreneurs I've failed countless times. And today we just had our, I think, a pretty successful event. Kim actually told everyone about Peruvian cookie. And what happened, babe? Did everyone like it?
Yes, everyone really liked the cookies. And we came with, I think, 19 boxes. And we sold out.
And we're sold out. So there you go. It's the first little successful event. I mean, even if we had failed, let's say no one had liked the boxes, then that's just good. That's great because it's a prototype. Actually, then maybe Kim doesn't pursue that because it's not going to be a viable business. So you're happy. You're happy you didn't waste a lot of time doing it. So even if you fail, you're happy about it. If you succeed, you're even happier. You just keep moving forward. So successful event. Thank you everyone for coming.
Thank you. And thank you for supporting Peruvian Cookie.
You're so funny. One book I highly recommend reading for fear busting. Oh my god, you can see our bed. It's completely unmade. Is Girl Boss, #GirlBoss by Sophia Amoruso, founder of Nasty Gal. Fantastic, fantastic book, and her gritty story about how she came from not being able to hold a job at all to all of a sudden being the CEO and founder of one of the biggest fashion brands in the world. It's huge. Fantastic book, highly recommend that you read it. And that's it. Thank you for tuning in. This is episode 1. Hopefully one of many. We'll see if I can stay persistent. Use that Core Drive 5 to keep me at it.